And we go over now to Erat community being the most recent case in this. We know the ongoing war in the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, which erupted in 2016, has created a deep humanitarian crisis with widespread violence, displacement and insecurity that has affected millions of Amazonian civilians. The conflict that was sparked by the Amazonian struggle. The conflict that was sparked by Amazonian struggle for independence that caused the war between the two nations has led to significant loss of life and countless atrocities, with an estimated 60,000 deaths and millions displaced. The region continues to face violent attacks, leaving communities devastated and forcing people to flee their homes. The war has created an environment of perpetual fear, and the recent events in the Erat community serves as yet another tragic example of this insecurity. I mean, time and time again, we've seen countless unknown gunmen going to commit murders without them ever being identified. Sometimes eventually they are, and sometimes they even turn out to be even the colonial forces. Well, on Tuesday, September 10th, 2024, unknown gunmen brutally assassinated the Fon village chief of Erat and his wife, plunging the community into deep shock and disarray. The attack, which occurred in Mbeseha in Dian County of the Atlantic zone of Ambazonia, has caused many villagers to flee, seeking refuge from the violence. Chief Obon Ekpo Philip Nkoy and his wife Akwai Ambang Mburu were not only shot by the attackers, but were also burned alongside their home, which was set ablaze. The extent of the violence was described by a source from Erat, who recounted saying they were burned almost to ashes. A few of us who stayed behind managed to bury the remnants of their body. It is a tragic moment for our community, according to this source, who also is revealed that most residents had escaped to nearby bushes and crossed into neighboring countries like Nigeria after such a grim incident. The attack had sent waves of panic throughout the Erat community, prompting a mass flight of residents, a mass exodus. Reports indicate that the attackers threatened to return, intensifying the atmosphere of fear and uncertainty. Many have sought safety in the surrounding wilderness, while others have fled the country entirely, leaving behind and reaching out to the wider public and humanitarian organization for immediate aid, as the community has been left without essential resources and remains highly vulnerable to further violence. Now, this tragic event is part of a broader pattern of atrocities attributed to the genocidal actions of the colonial regime in Ambazonia. The ongoing war has created a dire situation where communities are repeatedly subjected to brutal attacks, forcing thousands more into refugee status every year. The latest attack in Erat highlights the ongoing humanitarian crisis and the urgent need for international intervention. As the conflict continues to escalate, the plight of displaced Amazonians remain a critical issue that requires global attention and action. The people of Erat are just one of many communities grappling with the devastating consequences of this protracted war. Well, we keep talking about Amazonian refugees number increasing every year. And yet again, we get to see a number of Amazonia who are forced to flee without any prior notice due to the stage of the war that has given room to this level of insecurity.